This video tutorial is for middle school teachers for entering semester 1 grades. So when you enter your gradebook, you probably already have all of your assignments entered and graded. Just a reminder that if you need to add a learning behavior for the end of the semester, so if I say learning behavior quarter 2, which is for semester 1, I can make that summative, which means it's going to count in the final grade. And then you can navigate to standards. And remember, you have two choices for learning behaviors at the end of the quarter. Now, if you've already given learning behaviors attached to your assignments, you do not need to create an extra assignment. This is only if you have not given learning behaviors this quarter. So I'm going to do the individual ones instead of the general. So I might grade each of these individual, or I could just click on the general one. The only one we cannot click on is, again, the one with the little house or the little sunshine. So I'm going to grade them individually so I can give some more specific feedback to my students and their learning behaviors in class. And then I'm going to save and close them. I'm just going to fill this in for us. Now, as I fill this in, I can notice that these are purple, which means they're not counting towards the final grade. I'm going to go back to my assignment list and make sure that I have these counting towards the final grade. So when I go to my learning behaviors, I'm going to edit that assignment, and in standards, make sure that they are counting towards the final grade. If you've selected default, summative, if you've selected summative, by default, it should count towards the final grade. So once all of my assignments are in, which is step 1, I'm then going to go and just finalize the grades for the semester. So I go to A+ grading, and grades, I think of this as final grades and standards. On this page, the computer has automatically trended my scores. I'm going to increase this to 20 so I can see more at a time. Maybe that's too small, so I'm going to go to medium here so I can really see. So for my student, George Doe, I can see MS 1.1, which is responsibility and work habits, as a reporting category. This has been averaged of all these subcategories together, and each of these subcategories has been trended. I can click on my little graph to see what data points are influencing this grade. So although I had one learning behavior that was a 2, it was actually formative, so it didn't count, so it didn't influence that grade. Let me move over to my academic grades for the student. And so I have 3 academic grades, and I can check to make sure that those are what I want. The computer has trended automatically, but I can see that there is a professional judgment indicator icon saying they maybe have scored higher than this, so double check. So yeah, before they had scored 1.4, but I'm still going to trend him at a 3 for this. I can navigate to the next standard easily right here, checking the final against all the times that they've scored. And again for this one. After you've checked your trended grades for the semester on this screen, then you're going to enter your comments. Now, if you're in middle school and you see that S1 has a final grade, that will not, I repeat, will not appear on the report card. This is a setting that I could turn off if I don't want to see it. I can just go to my setting, display setting, and uncheck the show traditional grades. If you're a teacher who works in middle school and high school, you'll want to leave that on because high school does give a final course grade. So I'm going to go back to my A+ grading and standards and see what change that made. Now I don't see that grade here, which I do not need it. I can still see it on the side if I want to. So we have entered our assignments. We have checked the trended scores for the semester. Again, I'm always in the semester 1. Make sure you're never in the quarter 1 now. We are part of semester 1. And it's time to give comments. Now, before I move into comments, some people like to click on the students' names, and this screen used to show what the report card looked like. This is an update, so if I click on the student's name, it's actually going to take me to the standard score sheet. People might really like this. It shows the student, all the assignments they've had, and all the scores they've gotten on those. I'm going to increase my columns to 20 for this so I can continue to navigate over. On the very top, it shows what the student is getting in each of those reporting categories. One more time. So here's all the reporting categories on top, and then all the grades that I have given to that student on the bottom. That is a new screen. However, if you're used to clicking on the student's name and having it go to the report card view, you may be looking for that screen. You can find that again in Students in Standards Progress. This shows me quarter one, semester one, quarter three, and semester two. Okay, so you can kind of see the progress over time, what you've given. Remember, only the main bucket, which is the reporting category, will show up on the report card. So, as I said, you finalize your assignments, you went to grades, standards, and you finalize your grades. The last part is the comments. Your comments go in the S1 column. Make sure it says S1 here because that is the report card period we're in. I'm going to click on this box, and right here is where your comment goes. You can make that box larger if you wish, so you have more space. Now, if you're going to give a generic comment for this quarter we studied, you can fill that for all your students. I only have one student, but you'd be able to do that. In addition, we are giving personalized comments. So to do that, you would want to actually use a comment bank. So I'm going to show the comment bank, and it defaults to district comments, which we do not have any, but you can go to My Comments, and those are ones that teachers put in themselves. If you want to learn how to do this, go to the comments tutorial. So once you have your comments in, you could simply say, I'm going to give this student a 4, and then it would change the name and the personal pronouns. So there are 3 tasks for semester 1 grading. First task was to finalize the assignments, including a learning behavior. The second task was to finalize your final grades. Just double check the trending. And then the third was to do comments. One note on the learning behaviors is that remember, quarter one learning behaviors are influencing those learning behaviors for the year. If you want to turn those off, you could edit this assignment and then just tell it not to count towards the final grade anymore if it was still checked on. And that is all for your semester 1 grading. If you have any questions, please reach out to Ashley for help.